Buff Nation, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a great day. This is a response to my good friend Matt H. ScoBuffs22 on X asking who are going to be the top transfers for the 2025 Colorado Buffaloes. I got 12 names, all right? I got a lot of guys, but we brought in a lot of transfers. So I'm going to be breaking down my favorite top names to watch for on the offense. Then we'll get over to the defense, and I might have a name or two to watch from special teams. Of course, guys, let me know who your top transfers are. Join the chat. It's always greatly appreciated. Like, subscribe. We're on our way to 15K. But without further ado, let's get into the fun stuff. You guys are going to love this. So how can you not start when we're talking about impact players? You got to start with Kaden Salter, who's going to be our starting quarterback here from Liberty, and an impressive player. Yes, yes, yes. Now, 2024 wasn't his best statistical year. There's a lot of talent that left Liberty after 2023 because he helped lead Liberty to an undefeated season there. And I believe it was Conference USA. But still last year, responsible for over 2,300 all-purpose yards, 22 total touchdowns. Honorable mention in Conference USA last year, but in 2023, guys, when he took over as the full-time starting quarterback, guys, he absolutely obliterated it. He obliterated Conference USA. Listen to these statistics. Over 2,800 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns. He also had almost 1,100 rushing yards and 12 rushing touchdowns. 44 total touchdowns. And in FBS football, he ended up number 3 in the country in rushing touchdowns in 12. Number 3 in the country in passing efficiency at a quarterback rating of 176.6. Number 3 in passing yards per completion with 16.25. Oh my God. Number 5 in passing touchdowns, 32. Just beautiful. And earned the following honors in 2023. All right. He was Conference USA, first team. He was a Manning Award watch list guy. 4-time Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week. Conference USA regular season MVP. Right? And he is our quarterback now. A true dual threat that comes with years of starting experience, has won a ton of big games. He's now coming up from the G5 level at Conference USA, one of the best programs there, Liberty, and now he's going to play in the Big 12. We saw Shedeur Sanders make that jump from the FCS level, from JSU up to CU, and make that transition just fine. This is going to be the most talented team Kaden Salter has been surrounded with, and I'm not expecting him to skip a beat. I think that there is a possibility where he could get in distance of Shedeur's all-purpose yardage record last year. So, it's a little over 4,000 total yards. I want to say it's around like 4,300 yards. It would not surprise me to see Kaden Salter, with his rushing ability, get within striking distance of this record. No doubt about it. Real quick, want to say hi to some of my friends. Lady C in the chat. Legendary. That's what's up. Brandon Tillman. He's pumped up about this. And K Salt will be special this year. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Now let's continue on, shall we? Let's get to the running back position. We brought in one transfer running back, and it is the track hawk, all right? Decalin Taylor, from where I reside now in San Antonio, Texas, just a few minutes down the road, is University of Incarnate Word, and Decalin Taylor absolutely crushed it for Incarnate Word last year. Now, a little bit smaller of a back, 5'9", 5'10", 170 pounds or so, right? But he is incredibly explosive. During his time at Incarnate Word, over 1,000 rushing yards on only 179 carries. He's incredibly talented. First team all-conference last year in the Southland Conference in 2024. He can also return kicks and punts. he's going to be out there on special teams. I think first returning punts and also rotating in returning kicks as well. But he is a guy with tremendous speed. He can take it from the flat to the house. He can take any sort of run to the house. He has that type of game-breaking speed. So look for him to be featured in this offense. You know, Coach Marshall Faulk loves a guy like Decalin Taylor that can break the game open in multiple ways. So be sure to keep an eye out for number 20 on the Buffs on offense, truly a game-breaking running back that we got. We haven't had a guy like this in a couple years since I keep on wanting to call him Dylan Edwards, since Dylan Edwards was here and then left us to go to Kansas State. Come on now, man. What's up with that? All right, let's transition on. You guys have been waiting for me to talk about the star from the Campbell Fighting Camels himself, Sincere Brown. All right, we're talking about a first team, all CAA conference guy out there, the FCS, the Colonial Athletic Conference. He absolutely tore it up last year. Now, fun fact about him is he started his career at South Florida. I believe Zay Weaver and Jimmy Horn were there as well. So I think that that's pretty cool. I would imagine that that relationship and seeing those guys have tremendous success at CU after transferring from USF open up the door for him to come to CU here. And this guy's a tremendous athlete, guys. 6'5", almost 200 pounds. He can jump like crazy. He's athletic as heck. He's not just a guy that can run like 3 routes. No, this guy can play outside. He can get the tough catches over the middle of the field. He can take a screen to the house. He's got that kind of rare speed that you see with guys with a 6'5", 200-pound frame. All right, but this past season, 61 receptions, 1,028 receiving yards, and 12 touchdowns. Oh, my God. Sincere Brown, I think right now, number 9, you're going to see him starting on the outside opposite of Omarion, Miller. I can't wait to see what these two do. Now, we also have a big-time true sophomore transferring in at the wide receiver position, and that is Joseoph Williams. He was the freshman offensive player of the year in the American Conference last year for Tulsa. And he originally committed to Utah, but we said, we're not going to allow that to happen. We got Kaden Salter and Julian Lewis out here. You're going to get better quarterback play out here playing in Boulder than you are in Salt Lake City. So Joseoph Williams, 6'2", 200 pounds, again, as a true freshman last year, I think he had a tremendous season. So he's played in all 12 of the games, finished with 30 receptions, 588 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, averaged almost 20 yards a reception, guys, at 19.6. That was good for 12th in the country. He's a big-time playmaker and a guy with NFL upside as well. So even though we had 4 guys, right, 4 of our receivers leave last year, 3 of those guys getting drafted, even though Will Shepherd should have been, it's whatever at this point, right? But we got the cupboard stacked with wide receivers with NFL upside. Joseoph Williams is one of those guys as well. Now let's get to the offensive line. Of course, we have Jordan Seaton returning. He is not a transfer, but you know who is? Right guard Zai Chrysler, longtime starter for the University of Illinois, 6'7", 340 pounds. We haven't had offensive linemen like this with this sort of size at the guard position in so long. And Zai Chrysler brings a ton of experience, over 25 starts, 28 to be exact. 28 starts at the University of Illinois, has played in 37 games at Illinois. So a guy that's going to be busting open some huge holes for us in the run game and helping protect Kaden Salter. He was a Big Ten honorable mention in 2023 and can play a little bit of tackle as well, but he's mainly a guard, and I think he's going to be, as you guys have seen, that starting guard for us on the right side of the offensive line. Now, another guy that you'll see quite a bit on that right side of the offensive line is Larry Johnson. And he's somebody who I don't believe has had like a ton of uh, starting, reps yet for Tennessee, but another huge guy, 6'7", 350 pounds, in right tackle. And he's a guy that was starting for the Tennessee Volunteers all throughout spring ball this year. So he's played in 15 games in a reserve role, mainly at right tackle. And I think he might have played a few snaps at left, but yeah, has seen time against Iowa, South Carolina, Virginia, and UConn. So he has played some good competition. And again, since he's been here, he's just been slotted in as that right tackle. And that's really been an Achilles heel for our offensive line in the past. Philip Houston has been hurt, recovering from that ACL injury. And we just kind of had, we've been putting a lot of guards out there at right tackle aside from him. And when you got a 6'7", 350-pound right tackle, you're going to be able to run the ball. And I think he moves really well for his size, much better than some of the other guys that we have thrown out there at the right tackle position over the last few years. So Larry Johnson the third, I think he's going to crush it this year at the right tackle position. And let's see, I thought I had one more offensive lineman on here. Let me see if I can find him. Here he is, Xavier Hill, coming over here from Memphis. And this was a highly recruited guy in the transfer portal this year. Graduate transfer, 6'4", 320 pounds. And coming over here from Memphis, but also spent some time at the beginning of his career over at LSU. And comes from a winning program. 21-5 over at Memphis. Won 2 bowl games. He was first team all AAC. So one of the best offensive linemen in the American Conference last year. They run the ball like crazy at Memphis. And so he's going to help us establish this, I think, the best running game we've had at CU since Coach Prime has been here. I know that's not saying much, but I think it's going to be substantially better. So again, we're bringing in an all-conference starter from the American Conference. Love to see that. You'll see him next to Jordan Seaton at the left guard position. Let's continue on here. I think I had one more guy on the offensive side of the ball here, and here he is, Zack Atkins. It's a name you're going to know because I think right now he's our most athletic and college-ready tight end. Okay, he's a guy that can get downfield but can get dirty in the block game as well. Coming over from the Division II level, Northwest Missouri State. And hopefully you've been able to see him in the well-off videos. He's going to be a nice red zone threat for us. He didn't get a ton of passing work at Northwest Missouri State. I'm going to chalk that up to probably bad Division II quarterback play. But Atkins, during his time there, did catch 30 passes for 4 touchdowns, 360 yards. Again, he's got the ability to be used as a vertical threat downfield more than what the statistics would suggest. So look for him. He spoke in the press conference yesterday for the tight end. So I think that's a good sign. You're going to be seeing a lot of him this year. And it's great to have a guy that's like a real athlete at the tight end position. I cannot wait to see what Zack Atkins is going to do. Now, let's get to the defensive side of the ball here. How about we start with the DBs? We lose Shiloh Sanders. We lose Cameron Silman-Craig, the Shark. But we're bringing in another, I think, pro upside player in Tawfiq Byard, younger brother of NFL All-Pro Kevin Bayard, 6'1", about 200 pounds, and he can fly. You're going to see him wearing number 7 for the Buffs, starting probably opposite or in conjunction with Carter Stoutmire. He played mainly in a part-time role at USF as an underclassman, but I think, again, he's just scratching the surface with his potential. Started in 10 games, I guess, over the last 2 seasons. And during his time at USF, 59 total tackles, 8 tackles, 4 loss, 2 sacks, an interception, and a fumble recovery. He's got a nose for the football. I'm excited to see what he can do working with Robert Livingston And, maybe Von Bell. Maybe Von Bell, is that going to be announced as like an official thing, or is he just chilling out until he gets out here until he gets his next NFL contract? We'll have to see. But keep an eye on Kevin Byard. He's got all pro DNA, which is great. I think a guy that will establish himself as a leader on this team is definitely Reginald Hughes, or Reggie Hughes. 6'2", 225 pounds. And he's kind of been all over the place. Northeast Mississippi Community College, so starting in JUCO. Went to Ole Miss, then transferred out to Jacksonville State, where he absolutely took off under Rich Rod, who's now back at West Virginia. This past year at Jacksonville State, 83 tackles. All right. 9.5 tackles for loss. 4.5 sacks, 6 quarterback hurries. And guys, listen to this. First team All-Conference USA. Now, did get some part-time play at Ole Miss, but again, in his first time as a starter, the FBS level, absolutely crushed it. We're bringing in a guy that's got great speed, a great instincts, knows for the football, and I think he's going to be our leader from that inside linebacker position. First team All-Conference USA linebacker. I love to hear that. Tyrecus Davis has been one of my favorite risers throughout all of fall camp. I believe he went to community college with Preston Hodge, way back when, Navarro Community College, or maybe it was Tyler Community College. He went to both of those. But then the last couple of years, he's been over at Wyoming, and you'll see him number 9 on the Buffs in the secondary, 5'10", 190 pounds, can play all over. I think he can play outside. I think he's probably a little bit better suited right now at the Big 12 level to play inside, slot, just like Preston Hodge. But he's a guy that plays bigger than his 5'10" frame. He is a ball hawk, and you can go back and look at his Wyoming highlights. I put out a little reel on him a little while back, so go check that out. But all this guy does is make plays every day in practice. He's punching the ball out. He's diving on fumbles. He's getting PBUs. He's picking off whatever quarterback it is, whether it's Julian or Kaden or Ryan Staub, all these guys. This guy is a true ball hawk, a playmaker, and he's going to make some plays. If you guys remember, Cameron Silman-Craig, he didn't start off out as a starter when he first transferred out here. Due to some injuries, we saw him get more time. But, right when he got on the field, he's getting interceptions. He's forcing fumbles, all that. Tyrecus Davis, he kind of reminds me of Cameron Silman-Craig and just that playmaking ability. So we'll see what he can do. But, again, I think we're going to see him on the field a ton. You can't keep ball hawks like this off the field, man. I'm a big fan of him. Now, in 2 seasons at Wyoming, 69 total tackles, and get this as a DB, 60 of those were unassisted. This guy can open field tackle like crazy. 16 PBUs, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 forced fumbles, a tackle for loss, and 1 blocked kick. We will see him on special teams. No doubt about it. And this past year at Wyoming, 9 pass breakups. Just incredible. So I cannot wait to see what he's going to do. He's already becoming one of my favorite transfer players from this year. Let's see what else we got. That just might be about it. I didn't have as many guys on defense, so let's just go ahead and get to special teams. Special teams, it's been a sore subject. We couldn't kick touchbacks even at altitude last year, and it allowed teams to get back in the game with us or to hold leads over us at certain points. Baylor, you remember how much our special teams were a disaster against Baylor? I believe we had some issues kicking off against UCF, and Kansas State, I think, broke some big returns, which was difficult as well. But we no longer have to worry about kicking the ball through the end zone or not being able to do that this year. Buck Buchanan's going to take care of that, man. This guy has a huge leg. He hit a 60-yarder during the spring game. transfer over from Louisiana Tech. He's going to be part of the kicker by committee. I think Mata will take everything within 45 or so. And then if we ever need to kick longer field goals than that, I think Buck Buchanan is going to be the guy to do that. So I look forward to seeing him as part of this new special teams under Michael Pollock. And of course, we also have Damon Graves transferring from Kansas to do the punting this year, Australian guy. But yeah, this guy's going to be a star because he's just going to be booting that thing through the freaking end zone every opportunity he gets. I think we'll have a very high touchback percentage. I believe offhand his touchback percentage on kickoffs was over 80%. And now he's going to be doing that half the year at over a mile high above sea level. So can't wait to see what Buck Buchanan does this year on special teams, man. I'm pumped for it. So yes, those are the guys that I'm going to be looking out for to make an impact on this team. I'll name them all again. Kaden Salter, Sincere Brown at wide receiver, Joseoph Williams at wide receiver, Decalin Taylor at running back, Zack Atkins at tight end, offensive lineman, Larry Johnson at right tackle, Zai Chrysler at right guard, Xavier Hill at left guard. Then on defense, I got 3 names. In the secondary, you got Tyrecus Davis, defensive back, transfer from Wyoming, Tawfiq Byard, safety, transfer from USF, and then all conference USA, linebacker, transfer from Jacksonville State. You'll see him number 50, Reggie Hughes. And then we also got our kicker, Buck Buchanan. So, yeah, I'll get to a few of your comments. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be going live later today with Big Dog Chico, my good friend, and Birds. Hopefully you can make it this week from Bird's Eye View. But be sure to smash that like, subscribe if you haven't done that yet. It helps put a little food in my belly, y'all. So I really do appreciate it. And I'll get to a few of your comments here. So let me go ahead and adjust my screen. It's a banger. What's going on, man? Hope you're having a great day. Brandon Tillman saying, we have a legitimate offensive line this year. Can't wait to see what them boys do. Yes, we got great athletes, I think, across the line. And it's going to be interesting to see who rotates if we're going to do that offensive line rotation. I think you could see, depending on who's not starting at center, I think you will see Cooper Lovelace and Zarian McGill. We'll see what else happens at the guard position, but a true freshman that I've been very happy with, I think, so far is what we've seen out of 4-star freshman Chauncey Gooden, right? I would agree. Xavier Hill and Jordan Seaton starting to mesh. Lil Bucket's also saying, don't forget about Teion Parks. He says Teion Parks is the best DB on the team, and he very well could be our starting corner opposite of DJ McKinney. It's probably between him and RJ Johnson, right? So if you guys don't know much about Teion Parks, I think he's like a 6'2", 6'3" corner, a transfer out here from Illinois State. So coming up again from the FCS level, but another guy that had graded out tremendously in his coverage grade according to PFF. And yeah, I think he's going to help solidify this secondary tremendously. So we'll see. Hey, thanks for the love, buddy. Appreciate it. And again, go show some love to ScoBuffs22. You know, he was, I'll retweet him, but his tweet is talking about what do you think, or who do you think are going to be our most impactful transfers? And I'm like, well, I'll just go ahead and do a video on it. It'll be a lot of fun. So in terms of Tyrecus Davis, I'm guessing D Nice, you're calling him a mini Pac-Man Jones. I'm all for that. How about we get Pac-Man Jones out here to work with him a little bit, right? It's been a little while since he's been in Boulder, right? And absolutely, love talking Buffs. Again, I'll be on later today. And D Nice saying this, just having kickoffs land in the end zone will be pivotal. Yes. How many times did we give advantageous starting position to opposing offenses over the last couple of years? When you don't have that high-end Heisman type star talent on the roster with Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, these things are going to matter even more. You know, these little things that we can control, like putting the team on the 20 to start their offensive drives, you know, opposing teams rather. I'm glad we're taking care of this. we'll see what Damon Graves is able to do from a punting perspective. But I'm expecting Michael Pollock to get this special teams unit in order. We saw, I think, a good improvement this past year from 23 to 24. But I think if we're going to go and win the conference this year, I think we need to have, at the very least, like a top, like third. We need to be in the top third of the Big 12 when it comes to just overall special teams play. They can't ever be a net negative for us. They have to be kind of a net zero or a net positive from game to game. So Gennaro saying, is Jaheim Otis a flop? I'm not going to call him a flop yet. No. We'll see how many snaps he earns throughout the season. I still think he's tremendously talented, but in terms of, I think, like, are any of us expecting him to be in the starting lineup right now? No. So maybe in that respect, no doubt, but I want to see him get in this rotation. But this is an incredibly deep and competitive group. We're going to have to see. But I would agree, D-Nice. It's a little too early to tell. We're going to have to see how things shake out. DJ got burned a lot last year. I wouldn't say he got burned a lot. But that's college football, buddy. All these corners get burned. Travis Hunter gets burned. So I still think DJ McKinney is the best corner we got in terms of like NFL upside. We'll have to see. Yeah. I think that he was really good. He wasn't perfect. Are people comparing him to Travis Hunter? Is that like what the deal is? I don't really know, but he's very physical. I think he's a great open field tackler. He has a nose for the football. He's got the physical attributes that NFL teams like to see. So again, maybe it's, fine tuning some of the nuances in his game. NFL teams can do that. So. But I love that we can have this discussion. Best corners are Preston and Tyrecus. I think that we're going to shut down the slot. Now, with Tyrecus, he did play mainly outside at Wyoming, but I've noticed in the practice videos published, we've kind of seen him all over a little bit, but he has been playing the slot, which I think is going to be great. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, but really do appreciate all your interaction. Again, I'm going to be going live with Chico and Bird later today, I believe on Chico's channel. We'll have it streaming later today on mine for the replay. So please go check that out. Again, highly, highly, highly excited for this football season. 2 weeks away now, baby. So I can't wait to see how this team shakes out against Georgia Tech, man. We're almost there. So y'all let me know on the replay what you guys think about all this. Any names I'm forgetting, let me know where I'm wrong. Highly, highly appreciate it, guys. Go Buffs.